that is more subtle and more peaceful. The lower, the denser the plane, it's more painful. So you can compare it like that. But I will never look at it as a physical place called this is hell and this is the thing. But there are various opinions about it, which some people talk to me about. One is that when the soul is boiling for liberation, it's a painful process. It's that happens because sometimes, as I said, they committed suicide or something. The soul is fleshed out, and then it doesn't have enough strength to create another body, and it stays on, and it's boiling, thirsting for liberation, and do not know how long. But only thing is that the time doesn't stay linear there, because only time stays horizontal in when we have the body. Once the body is gone, time is vertical. So we do not know how many years you can exist like that, but that is an agonizing thing. But at the same time, you are liberated, you are free, your karmas are reduced, you are peaceful, you are loving, and then you are in that state. That is beautiful. That's the state of heaven. And especially when you are coming here back just to help people, or just for, like Jesus took 32 years, Adi Shankara 32 years, like that. Coming here just for the sake of helping people, that is beautiful. Then that means you are not bound. You are coming at will, leaving at will. That is a good state to be in. So God has nothing to do with it. Please understand, God the Father, He is omnipresent. He is not like a school teacher with a stick in hand. He would allow you to exercise your experiences, whether it is good or bad, and He would only, like when you surrender to God and say, let your will be, then He will guide you only to the higher activities. That can happen. That is for sure. That again is not God coming and telling you. It's like a joint consensus, like what we call the areas of Shambhala, where great masters meet. That place of the location is also not a permanent place. It's not like a conference room. They create a place, they assemble, they share the thoughts, and thoughts also need not be shared. It's basically assembling and agreeing. The thought itself is very loud in those planes. You don't have to think even. The thought is very, very loud. So you don't even think. Just come, and coming itself is an agreement. And then disintegrate the whole place and leave. That means no attachment to any location. You can't have attachment to any location because that is binding. So they appear. So they all operate for the larger purpose. God will not even tell them, please do it this way. They understand this is the need of the hour. See, for example, we need an avatar to redeem a lot of people. That is understood, and they come and they deliver, and then they, So this is how they operate. So it is important to understand it that way.
How about the people who are in coma?
They have it's like a suspended time. They have time for another birth, or they are not in a hurry to go. They have, it's like a death state, a suspended state, but they stay on in the body for some time. Because there's no hurry for another birth, or they wanted to experience. Like how it happens is when two reasons, mainly that you have to be with certain relatives. You want to be with certain relatives, and you're giving an opportunity for the relatives to look after you or express their love and kindness in such a way. So that is one. Our second thing is that there's no hurry to go, and there's no karma left to do. So you will go to a suspended state. There's nothing to do. So this is also karma to be like that. But I'm saying an activity to do, nothing to perform, and then they go in this mode. Third is that it is also possible that ignorance brought them here. Like you sympathize with somebody in coma and involved with them deeply. You attract that impression into you, and that is reproduced. That I have seen many times. Like healers do that. They heal and then they take on the negativities and put it in their system. They do not know how to cleanse it, and then eventually they experience it. This happens. So it is important for a healer to be very objective. If it is pertaining, if it is agreeable to the karma, let it happen. You are just a facilitator, not the doer. It's important. So this is all part of that thing. Why is man not punished for his karmas then and there? That is, in the same birth itself, so that he gets a chance to realize his mistake. When he is punished in the next birth, then he doesn't even know or remember what's committed in the previous birth. It's true, but understand, we are living in a dual world. Ravana had his field day before Rama killed him. Kamsa did everything possible before Krishna killed him. So the duality is allowed to exercise in this world. So some people, why a person does things which are harmful? This is because ignorance. Selfishness is ignorance, insecurity is ignorance, anger is ignorance, fear is ignorance. This is all coming out of ignorance. And the mother of everything is tamas, inertia. Inertia breeds insecurity. Inertia breeds all this. So it's all ignorance. Ignorance is the seat of all, and the ignorance is coming out of inertia. So this is the way it goes. So when a person does so many things, he exercises that, and until a stage where this is completely not acceptable to people, and then something else happens. But in many times, what happens is one lifetime is taken for doing all the bad things, and the next lifetime is taken for redemption, clearing all this. Even in now, we can do this. Trial and error is part of our life, and they chose that nature of being cruel, being violent as an expression, because they had this thing to experience. See, somebody harms you or abuses you. Some people have come and told me. I think I posted in the blog also. One man, 60. I was actually in a ashram. I was away from everybody. I didn't want to meet anybody, but somebody contacted through somebody, and somehow this man came and met me. 65-year-old retired man, and he came and he said, I have somebody, I think his boss or in his office, made his life miserable when he was working. He's keeping a lot of anger against that man, and said, I will kill him sooner or later. He was telling me. Then I said, you are in the wrong place. You should go to this underworld or wherever they will kill people. I said, I don't do this job. Because he was venting his anger when he came to me. I said, what do you came for? What do you wanted to ask me? But that kind of anger and things, it definitely will, if he is dying in this mode, just imagine in his next birth, he will definitely assassinate this guy. He will bring that guy just to kill him. Both of them will take birth. So this goes like that. It goes in circles, So it is important to be aware of all these activities, aware of all these things. Like one story of a butcher. So one saint was asked, go to the butcher and he will tell you, he'll give you wisdom. So saint said, how can a butcher teach me? And then the butcher was telling, I've been given this job. I do it and as painlessly as possible to the animals. I've been given this job. Now, if I stop doing this job, somebody else may do it insensitively. Means they will assassinate the animals and they die. So I continue to do the job. At the same time, I am looking after my parents. I am feeding them. I ensure they are fine. They're taken care of. I take care of my children. I ensure they are fine. So I am doing this life on a ritualistic basis, and this will lead me to redemption. So activity is how purified you are, in how much purity you are doing it, that liberates you. But if the interest is selfish, if you are trying to destroy other people or kill other people, then it is a different story. Then you will also enjoy the same things, I had written a story about a lamb. I think it's in the blog. Please do read the blogs because many of these answers are already there. There's so much of literature. Also, YouTube videos about Shaktipat. We found 7 videos. I was not aware actually. Some people have made videos on my talks, not this physical. They have put it in writing, so it's easy to understand. There are 7 videos about Shaktipat. I've talked in various occasions, and they have done that. Likewise, many of the things have gone in. It's in the 100 plus, 200 plus videos or something. There in YouTube. Go to Mohanji. Type Mohanji, you'll get all that. So a lamb. It was a butcher in the last life, and it came as a lamb, and it is talking about the agony it goes through, where it's separated from the mother and then taken, and the helplessness at all situations, and then it is seeing some of his colleagues whom he worked with assassinating him, and then the meat has gone, and his children are eating it. You see, so life changed, but how the cycle continued. You see, his own children are consuming it, not knowing this was the father's soul. So another body. But these are all truths of existence. It can happen that way if we are insensitive. So this is the point about. So many times, sometimes the results happen in this life itself. I've seen people who are extremely angry and very insensitive in the society, going through terrible problems in one lifetime. I've seen that happening. It is possible, not always postponed to the next life. And sometimes in the first half of the life, they freak out, and the second half of the life they suffer. This also happens. How to get rid of desires? First of all, getting rid of desires, do not suppress them. By suppression, you will never get out of desires. How to get rid of desires? The best thing is awareness. If you need them or not, are they necessary or not? Many times we will find some of the things we don't need. We just think we need, but we don't. There's, again, as I said, you're just trying to, what you're trying to do, you're trying to fill the gap. Just occupy the mind. That's what's happening. That is why we feel that this is essential, which is not so. It's not true. And we yield to temptation in spite of knowing what we are doing is wrong. In such situations, how do we keep our mind under control? If you're yielding to sensations or temptations, do it. Be aware you're doing it. Don't feel guilty about it. Just go for like you found some pastry in the shop, and you say I must have it. Have it with awareness. That is what I'm saying. Just say, okay, this is going to give me pleasure. Let it be temporary. I'm having it. Better, rather than suppressing it. Now again, next time you may not even need it, because I know this. I've tasted it. It's all right. I've overcome it. This is also true with alcohol, with addictions of any kind. We feel that another person or another material can give us happiness. Once we know it cannot, then we are peaceful. Because somebody was telling me yesterday, said, please, I want to, please change his mind so I can marry him. So I said, we're talking about two different people, your karma and his karma, And then, see, how can I manipulate another person? If you increase your deserving level, it will happen, So this girl says that she cannot marry anybody else. I said, this is okay. But that man also should decide, another person, he also should decide, right? So increase your deserving level. And I gave a few tips for that. But,
marital.
I get all sorts of mails, I answer them. I answer as much as I can. But this is true. It's important to know that this is how life goes. You can't really, it's not like a commodity from the shop, you know. That is why we like pets better than people, because you you can dictate terms over it. Some people even cannot have pets, so they have plans. So it's even more better. You know. See, it all depends on our level of tolerance. Raj,